everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party. So
yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Diddy isn't going to be leaving the limelight anytime soon. It's been revealed that he's been involved in a lot of atrocities, and to everyone's surprise, it looked like it was over for Diddy pretty much at this point. Social media is helping him track his final days. He's currently extremely paranoid and doesn't trust anyone after the raid. A lot of tapes and hidden cameras were recovered from his Miami mansion, and he's even gone so far as to subtly check Justin Bieber for a wire, which feeds into the theory that Bieber raised him as a teenager. Since then, Diddy has been spotted enjoying himself in this Miami mansion.
It looks like Diddy is asking him if he has a wire. Justin says no. Then Diddy checks to see if he has a wire. Yo, this is some sick shit, man.
Smoking up, lounging combs, going bowling, but people aren't fooled by any of that. They think it's all just the rules their lawyer put up to it. Now, a body language analyst studied Diddy and Cassie's body language. Diddy enjoys answering direct interview questions when they're on the red carpet.
Heavy hitters, but this heavy hitter, nobody's going to expect. Ronnie Jones says Philadelphia rapper and a male R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl had a Vegas residency were messing with underage girls and ex-workers on Diddy's yachts. And y'all already know who he talking about. So y'all know who he talking about allegedly. Allegedly, it is Usher. Yes, allegedly it's Usher, and I have the court documents. So you pay attention to the highlighted area. It says I, rapper, redacted, on Mr. Combs' yacht, consorting with underage girls, ex-workers, and J, R&B singer, redacted, in Mr. Combs' Los Angeles home, consorting with underage girls and ex-workers. Now, if you pay attention closely to the bottom, it says he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Oh, shit! I just realized who the fuck that was. He's a Grammy winner, award winner. I'm just gonna make the assumption that this is the Philadelphia rapper that is in the documents. Oh my fucking God. This man is dragging everybody into this shit. Surviving Diddy is bigger than what I thought it was gonna be. I forgot how connected he actually is in the entertainment industry. He had Usher at a very young age. He kind of like groomed Usher into stardom. I don't know about Meek Mill and how he's connected to Meek Mill's, but I'm not putting it past anybody these days, especially with exactly what they're saying. The ex-workers part, I can see on both sides. The underage part, I cannot see. But baby, y'all better lawyer the fuck up, because this man has dates and times and stamps. And oh shit, everybody's getting hit. This is a RICO. This is going to be a...
One time, she was asked a very direct question, and she had to respond. Did his soul leave his body?
Body language only. Gets mad that she shakes this man's hand, reprimands her by touching her waist and grabbing it, making her lose balance. Forced smile by Cassie. He also puts his hand on the gentleman, know your place. Casually looks at Cassie, but not really looking at her. He's speaking in code. She touches his arm and kind of tries to smooth him over. 2 years later, he's the one that approaches the man instead of Cassie. She's at the back, nervous, pretending for a smile. He makes it all about himself, as you know, Puff Daddy, narcissistic man. Steps back. He speaks to her to approach, but he walks away. That's not a normal interaction with anyone. You don't walk away and look at someone. There was no reason for him to go there. He was speaking to her as in to say, act normal. She didn't touch the man anymore. She's looking down. She's not really trying to look at man in the face. She's nervous about Diddy doing this. Diddy then finally makes it stand.
The interviewer knew something, which is why she asked the question in the first place. Diddy gave Cassie the death stare. If you think he's not nervous, you're right. He didn't take his eyes off her once he was subtly threatening her. You don't need to read the case any further to realize that TD Jake is involved since he was caught attempting to utilize TD Jakes.
Confess tonight before you go in. I keep everything right here. Or right here.
The tiny rod with a strong arm and quiet him rouse complaint was so comprehensive that even if he wins in court, I don't believe he's going to get away with it since social media and TikTok are the courts of public opinion.
So Bishop T.D. Jakes has been trending nowadays for all the wrong reasons. Now, to all the saints and all the believers, this shouldn't come as a surprise. Years back, he was elevated to national platforms where he was asked key questions in which he had the opportunity to represent God's truth. Sensitive topics like abortion, topics like homosexuality, and he failed dismally to stand on God's truth. Facts that are clearly highlighted within the Bible. For us to know God's stance on these particular topics, he failed. So bottom line is, this shouldn't come as a surprise. I'm not one of those believers who has that prophetic power to be able to discern someone's stance with God, but I can at least use the metrics of doctrine. And when he answered those questions, he failed dismally. So this shouldn't be a shock to anyone.
Karen is prepared to serve as this guy's judge, juror, and executioner since he has a long list of connections and many of Diddy's former associates are disclosing his secrets.
Heated conversation that took place in a bathroom, and Mr. Jones was like 2 feet from the bathroom. He heard shots fired, and when everything cleared out, Combs and another guy exited the bathroom, and they saw this guy G was lying on the floor in a fetal position. Mr. Jones tried to assist him. They called the ambulance come, and apparently Combs was like, nobody say anything. If anything, you say that he was outside of the studio and he was shot by a drive-by assailant. So that was one of the allegations. There's also like so many allegations and incidents where Mr. Jones was sexually harassed and assaulted by Combs, groping of his butt, basically trying to force him to engage in, it says in there, homosexual sex intercourse. And apparently Jones said that he is a heterosexual Christian male, so all this stuff made him feel uncomfortable. He said that many people excused Combs' behavior and said, you know, Sean will be Sean. That's one of the quotes in the complaint, that he walked around naked despite the uncomfortability. And there's just goes on and on, that Combs even took a producer named Stevie Aaron Jordan, also known as Stevie J in the complaint, that apparently Mr. Jones idolized, and he used this idolization to sort of groom Mr. Jones into engaging in homosexual sex. So apparently also Combs had told Mr. Jones that this is normal in the music industry, that everyone does it. He was promising he would win a Grammy. He was promising him money and success. And apparently this went back and forth whenever Mr. Jones, you know, was not into, which apparently is the duration of all these things being alleged, but he was being intimidated or harassed by Combs, that if he says anything that, you know, he will be harmed. I go further into it because there's definitely so much going on, but there are 15 clauses of action ranging from sex trafficking, sexual assault, infliction of intentional emotional distress for sexual assault. There's a RICO racketeering, you know, for all the sex trafficking that's being alleged. And what's interesting is on one of the pages, it says that Mr. Combs was known for throwing the best parties. With sponsorship of Mr. Combs, sex trafficking partners garnered legitimacy and access to celebrities such as famous athletes, politician figures, artists, musicians, international dignitaries like British Royal Prince Harry. This is crazy. I mean, honestly, so much is going to unravel. But I just wanted to get on here and read some of these allegations in this complaint and sort of give people like a background as to what is going on and the seriousness of these allegations and what's taking place allegedly with these groups of elite people.
It is urged that Jennifer Lopez flee since she could get entangled in the web of illegal activity.
So we're probably never going to hear j.lo speak out on the Diddy allegations. First things first, they only dated a year and a half. Second of all, j.lo met Diddy when she was 30 years old. Her career was already established, she was a rising star at the time, and they didn't live together. They were in a long-distance relationship. So there was no actual way for him to try and control her like he would with Cassie. Cassie met Diddy when she was 19 years old. If you ever see pictures of them when they first started dating, Cassie looks so young. She has such a baby face. And a woman at 30 years old versus 19 is a lot different. Diddy allegedly took advantage of the fact that Cassie was just 19 years old, she was young, she was naive, and thus easily manipulated. He made sure very early on to isolate Cassie and take control of her entire life. That's why j.lo's probably never going to speak on the allegations, because her experience with Diddy was not the same version that Cassie. But by no means does that mean that j.lo's relationship with Diddy was a walk in the park. She told Vibe magazine back in 2003 that she was constantly crying and going nuts when she was dating Diddy. She said that he would go missing, prompting Lopez to go knocking on hotel doors because she was always thinking that he was cheating. And in an interview with Wendy Williams, when Wendy asked her, would you ever get that good thing back, she said no. And j.lo's mother's reaction to the question in the audience said it all.
Getting back with Puffy in a little way.